Naaresto na nga ang kamakailan na inireklamo ng 25 na mga OFW sa Macau dahil hindi sila nakakatanggap ng mga sweldo sa pinagtatrabahuan nila dahil biktima pala sila ng fake employment ng nasabing Pilipinang inaresto.
The Judiciary Police has arrested a woman involved in the suspected false employment scheme exposed by TDM. If convicted of fraud involving a considerable amount, the suspect could face between 2 and 10 years in prison. PJ says the investigation is ongoing and there could be more victims involved.
The Judiciary Police arrested a Filipino Macau resident on Tuesday in the Pinay area who was implicated in the fake employment scheme previously revealed by TDM. As reported last week, despite having blue cards, victims of this fraud went months without receiving salaries while working at a Japanese restaurant in the Ortay Costa area and other locations, often for more than 12 hours a day. Prior to that, each victim was forced to pay 22,000 patakas to secure employment. The Philippine Consulate General in Macau revealed they were aware of more than 50 Filipino citizens affected, with 26 filing formal complaints. These 26 victims formed the basis for the PJ investigation, confirmed this afternoon. However, authorities have not addressed the fact that these victims were effectively working without pay despite holding valid work visas, as confirmed by the victims to TDM.
After our investigation, we learned that the detainee is the operator of this Japanese restaurant. During the incident period, besides the existing non-resident worker quotas in use, the detainee had no corresponding quotas available to apply for the victims. We also discovered the detainee had no record of applying for non-resident worker permits for the victims. Therefore, we have reason to believe the detainee used the restaurant as a front to deceive fellow Filipinos into making payments.
PJ again confirmed following TDM's inquiry that these victims do not have blue cards issued by the Japanese restaurant and was not aware if they hold working permits issued by other companies. During previous interviews with victims, TDM has also learned that beyond the restaurant in question, there are other establishments involved in the case. At least 2 companies are part of the scheme, businesses responsible for requesting, managing, and providing non-resident worker quotas. The detained suspect allegedly acted as a mediator and recruiter. The suspect was arrested on the charge of fraud of a considerable amount, for which he could be sentenced to prison for between 2 and 10 years. PJ say the suspect admitted to receiving about 500,000 patakas from the 26 victims who reported the situation. However, she refused to provide more details about the operation.
Of course, as this is still in the investigation phase, it's at a preliminary stage. We don't rule out the possibility of more cases being reported to our bureau in the future. If they do come to our bureau, we will combine all related cases one by one to conduct a joint investigation to trace the whereabouts of the relevant illegal proceeds and determine if there are more details.
Besides the police, the Labor Affairs Bureau also confirmed to TDM they are investigating the case. The Public Prosecution's Office is also investigating the situation after 12 of the 50 victims filed a request with the body.
Ito yung video kung saan nirereklamo nila ang Pinay recruiter na isang residente na sa Macau. At maging paalala din ito sa mga kababayan natin na naghahanap ng trabaho sa ibang bansa.
At least 25 Filipino workers have fallen victim to a fake employment scheme. In an exclusive interview, some of the workers said they had paid 22,000 patakas as a placement fee to a so-called recruiter, and that despite working for months for more than 12 hours a day, none of them had received their salaries.
The illusion of opportunity, the desire for a better life for themselves and their families attracts Filipinos to Macau. Among them is Rain, who has reportedly fallen victim to a fake employment scheme. She claims to be one of at least 25 victims of the scam. The recruiter, allegedly a fellow Filipino and holds a permanent Macau resident ID, demanded a placement fee of 22,000 patakas. Rain was told that she would be working as a waitress at a Japanese restaurant near Avenida Ortay Costa. Desperate for cash, she borrowed money and pawned jewelry to raise money with a promise of a blue card and work.
We do the interview, and then after one day, They called us again, I'm hired. And then if you have ready 22,000 placement fee, they give me 3 days to pay to secure the position. Then we ask our friends to get to borrow money everywhere.
After some months, the situation took a turn for the worse. They found themselves trapped in a form of modern slavery, working over 12 hours a day. Apart from being forced into grueling work conditions, their wages were also withheld. The harsh reality hit them like a cold wave as they realized that they had been scammed. Separately, they went to the Labor Affairs Bureau to report their situation. This led to an agreement with the recruiter to pay what was owed, but this remained unfulfilled.
I will give it one time. March, April, May, June salary. She will give it full one time. But where? She didn't even give one. We're not working 8 hours. The promise is 8 hours. But we almost work 12 hours, 13, 14, 15.
They got stuck in a cycle of fear and being taken advantage of, and it was hard to get out. Contact became infrequent and eventually stopped altogether. Rain suspects that there may be more victims because of the recruiter's persuasive nature.
So not only 25. I think it includes 45 or more. You will be really believe her, and I think she hypnotized us. We're family here. I don't want you to, no one will cut your visa. We're all family like that.
I'm your mother.
I'm your mother here in Macau. Yeah. And also, she's very good in words.
The recruiter who had promised a bright future is now nowhere to be found. TDM reached out to the alleged recruiter but received no response.
Nagbabala naman ang DMW o ang ating Department of Migrant Workers sa mga illegal recruitment operation na habang buhay silang makukulong kapag nahuli sila.
Nagbabala naman ang Department of Migrant Workers na maaaring mapatawan ng habang buhay na pagkakabilanggo ang mga illegal recruiter. Hindi biro ang pagde-deploy ng mga manggagawa sa abroad dahil walang kasiguraduhan kung ano ang dadatnan ng mga aplikante sakaling tuluyang makalabas ng bansa. Kahapon isang beauty salon and spa ang ipinasara ng ahensya sa Imus, Cavite dahil illegal ito nag-aalok ng trabaho sa ibang bansa. Ayon sa DMW, maaring mapatawan ng habang buhay na pagkakabilanggo ang illegal recruiter na nasa likod ng operasyon oras na mapatunayan sa korte ang alegasyon.
Yung mga hairstylist po, yung mga ginagamit po sa yung mga oso po sa sa ibang bansa po kasi pa-Saudi po talaga lahat ng babae diyan. Yung nabutan po diyan nasa 30, pero yung iba po naka-flight na po sila.
Ano to? Habang buhay na kulong to dahil sigurado tayo if ever lampas sa 3 yung magiging nito, magiging biktima nito at saka kung lampas sa 3 naman yung nagsasagawa ng illegal recruitment operation panghabang buhay din yung kulong nito at meron pa tong penalty, meron pa tong fine. So habang buhay nahihimas ng rehas.
Kaya mga kababayan kong Pilipino dyan sa Pilipinas, para maiwasang mapahamak at umabot sa sitwasyong ganito, ay dapat lagi tayong dadaan sa tamang proseso. Pwede naman kayo lumipat ng ibang trabaho sa ibang bansa kapag natapos nyo na ang kontrata. Basta pupunta kayo sa ibang bansa as documented OFW.